Good morning. I'm from Asda St Erme and have broken this PowerPoint already. Fantastic. Okay, so I'm the community champion in Asda St Erme. I've worked for Asda for 18 years and I'm currently doing a level 3 diploma in fundraising. So I'm learning what quite a lot of you do and how to get charity money and how to go about all the different aspects. So I'm in a position whereby I can help you with your own fundraising if anyone needs advice. We've raised, as a store, £5,000 for our corporate partners in 2024. And the bit that you're all interested with is in the last 2 years, £40,000 has been donated through the Asda Foundation for local groups in the St Erme area. I'm also joined by my colleagues, Jackie and Linda from Bodmin and Falmouth stores. And on your handouts, you've got the details for Kirsty in our Plymouth store. So I know some people are from that end of Cornwall, so Kirsty would be your best contact. Okay, so during the presentation, I'm going to talk about the Asda Foundation and what they are, our recent grant rounds, the upcoming grants, and other ways that Asda can support your charities. Okay, so the Asda Foundation is a charitable foundation funded by Asda. Every year, Asda gives £3,600,000 to the Asda Foundation, which supports local grassroots charities. We're a separate entity, so everyone knows how foundations work, and Asda gives the money to the Asda Foundation. We support grassroots charities, and last year £3.2 million went to 2,600 local groups across the UK, raising awareness of the issues that mattered locally. There we go. So all of our grants are organised by an impact survey. So if you get your Asda home shopping delivered, every now and again you'll get a survey saying what matters to you locally. If you fill that survey out, the Asda Foundation uses that to inform the grants that are given out in Cornwall. So if you say that you want food poverty, we launched a grant to deal with food poverty. The last couple of years, a lot of people have said that they need support for young people because there's lots of grants for young children, there's lots of grants for the elderly, but not as much for young people. So they launched a new grant to support that. So I do ask that if you get one of those emails asking you what support we need in Cornwall, please fill it out honestly, and then we can have grants that will support your groups. Okay, so I'm going to recap on the recent grants we have recently had. So they're on a 12-month cycle. So even if you've missed it this year, next year you'll be able to apply. So the Local Outdoor Community Spaces Fund, it supports local community groups with safe and accessible outdoor spaces. This increased our need for outdoor spaces, particularly for marginalised groups and young people. It brings together local communities together, and it's for groups that are open, accessible to a wide range of people. So you can apply if your outdoor space is behind a locked gate that's only open on a Saturday morning. It's got to be accessible to everyone, or as many people as possible, throughout the week. In Cornwall, we gave over £14,000 in the last 2 months through this grant application. And I know some of the recipients are here today. So at the back, if you want to talk to the farming mother, she'll tell you how she applied to our grant and how it's helped her so far.
For many young people, life isn't always easy and they lack the opportunities they need to develop.
I want to learn more things so I have more choices.
It would be nice to have a place where I can go so I can connect with other young people.
I need a safe space with people who can support me.
I need somewhere where I can get active and remove stress from college and school.
Asda Foundation is responding with up to £500,000 worth of funding for grassroots groups across the UK, enabling opportunities for young people to be empowered, to connect with peers and support each other, to build life skills in a safe place, to get active and feel positive about themselves and their futures.
Can you make a positive impact on the young people in your community?
With Asda Foundation's Young Futures Fund, you can. Apply today.
Okay, let's go. Can you make a positive, right?
Okay, so the grant is now still being decided, but so far we know that the Farming Mother has had £1,000 to support local life skills sessions for vulnerable teens with cooking, financial literacy, employability and skills based on her allotments. Newquay Surf Life Saving Club have had £1,000 for training costs for their teen groups. Men Heniot Tennis Club has £1,000 for their sports activities. And I can't pronounce this, but it's Celtic Ability Football Club in the Falmouth area has £500 for sport kit to support young people with disabilities. Okay, so the bit that everyone is interested in is the upcoming grant rounds. So we've got our Places for People Fund is launching tomorrow. So the criteria is already on the Asda Foundation website, and this will provide grants of between £10,000 and £20,000 for your big projects. So this is a picture of us recently at the Roseland Centre. So if you don't know the Roseland, it was the old outdoor centre that closed down, has recently opened as a new outdoor centre by the community. So we replaced the windows. So we gave them £25,000 to replace the windows, and they have now got children activities groups going on in the centre. In order to apply for the grant, you have to have an accessible community space, and you wish to renovate it, repair it or develop it to deliver vital activities and service. So all of your community centres, your church halls would all be eligible as long as a large proportion of the community are able to enter the centre. Projects focusing on loneliness and isolation are also great. Click sides. So there's a list of groups that have had the funding over the last couple of years. As you can see in the picture, once we've given you the money, we like to stay involved. So we've had a few volunteer days with all of our Cornwall store managers and community champions at the Roseland Centre, painting, decorating and doing gardening work. So it's great for our store managers to get out and about in the community and see what you all do. We can fund a minimum of 50% of your project and up to 90%. So we do like that you have 10% of the project already funded. In order to apply for any of our Asda Foundation grants, your annual income has got to be less than £250,000 because the Asda Foundation like to prioritise small community groups. And you've got to have an unrestricted reserve of less than £40,000. That's because if we're giving you £20,000, we want to know you haven't already got the money in the bank that you could have spent. We want to be able to support groups that don't already have it. For this grant that launches tomorrow, we can support kitchens, roofs, disabled access and anything that transforms your space to allow more people to view it. So have a look on the Asda Foundation website tonight if you're interested to apply, and then send one of us an email and we can help support you with the application. Another upcoming grant we've got is our Food Bank Fundamentals grant. This came apart from the impact survey that was given last year, where people said that food bank poverty was an issue in their local communities. So there's a few pictures of myself with Andy from St Austell Food Bank, who we gave £1,000 last year. You don't have to be connected to a local store, so any food bank or any community larder or anyone dealing with food poverty in Cornwall is able to apply through the website in June to apply for this application. Last year we gave £265,000 to 271 local food distributors. Okay, so another grant we've got in September is our Christmas grants. So these are aiming to bring local groups together, anyone that might be locally isolated in the community. So you've got your Christmas parties, they don't have to be to do with Christmas, but anything for the winter, but most people apply for Christmas stuff. Okay, we also have other support available. So emergency donations. If there's a flood or a fire or any emergency in your local community, we can support. So we can provide food, we can provide bedding if there's, so a couple of years ago, Bodmin supported because all the children got stuck at the college. So we gave duvets and bedding for the children that were stuck at the college because they needed somewhere to sleep for the night. We've also had it whereby there's been floods in an area and we've supported the residents with free emergency food. Match funding. So if you have any volunteers in your community organisations that work for Asda, we can double it. So speak to your volunteers, and it's great for money that you don't have to do anything for. and our colleague hardship grants. So because I know there's so many people here that work with vulnerable people in our communities, we can support our colleagues with rent arrears, food support, house deposits and funeral costs. So if you know that they are in an area, we can help them. So please tell them to reach out to their store manager. We don't know about it most of the time, but we've been able to help people in big ways. There's other support we can give. So we can provide you with collection awareness slots. So you can come in for the day and fundraise, or just tell our local community about what you do. We can also offer donation of tea, coffee, cake, gardening materials, or anything you need for your local community groups. We have a budget every month in our stores, and we want to spend it. And outreach. So I've already touched on the fact that we want to keep involved with your groups. So please shout to us. We want to come out and help and see the good stuff that you do in the community and get involved. Okay, so the top tips for us for success. You can now apply for a grant if you don't have a community champion. So we've had a few issues in the past where there's areas of Cornwall where you don't necessarily have someone in the store, but you can apply through the website. But I would suggest reaching out to me, Jackie or Linda, because 80% of the applications that are approved, there's a little tick box on the application saying, have you been in contact with your local community champion? If you put yes, it marks you higher on the scoring. Be open to other types of support. So we have the grants, but maybe you just need a fundraising day, or we can support you in other ways. So if we've got an ongoing relationship with you, when we know we've got a grant coming up, we can push it in your way and say thank you. It's really, really simple, but it helps with the ongoing relationship so that when we've got another grant, we think of you, as quite often we get to the end of the month, we've got a bit of money left. So if you've got an ongoing relationship with the shop, we will support you more. And there's our details, but you've got them all in your leaflets. Okay. Okay. Thank you.
You have to stay here for a second.
Yep.